and welcome to episode 12 of the Dittmer Knittery podcast. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you've watched before and you're back, thank you so much. I hope you like what you see. I hope I hear from you. If this is your first time watching, you will hear me say, please contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And let me tell you how. Just scroll down. You'll see some text and you'll see the words see more. You click on that see more and the text will open up and show you all the information that I've put in there, which will include links that I talk about today, my Facebook information, my blog information, my email, my mailing address, how you can contact me, because I really do like hearing from you. So I do have some yarny business today, quite a bit. And since I've been podcasting only every couple of weeks, I've decided to take my time and talk to you for as long as it feels comfortable to do so. And so I have quite a few things to show you today, and I'm going to get started. I have some works in progress to show you today. Both of my works in progress are mosaic crochet. This first one, of course, is a bag. This yarn is Sugar Wheel. The colors are Merlot and Zest Wishes. And this is just the very beginning of a bag. It would probably be like a tote, kind of large with handles at the top. I got this pattern and followed some tutorials from Fiberfox Studios, and that link will be available. This is part of the, I'm sorry, I can't think of, it's a collection. I bought several charts. And I will put the link to the name of which chart this is. Can't see much of it. It's haven't made much progress on it yet. And my next project, like I said, both of my works in progress are mosaic crochet. This one is almost completed, but it's not quite done. This is a chart from Tinna, and this is a crossbody bag. It's a nice long strap, but it's not quite finished. The bottom is not seamed, still open there at the bottom. I have the ends to weave in. And then I also thought, what if, and I've been thinking about this on different bags, but finally kind of got an idea of maybe what I'd like to do to make this more easily adjustable. Because of course you can tie a knot in it and make it a shorter strap, and then it's, you know, it's good and stretchy. It can be a shoulder bag. But I have these nice buttons, and I thought, if I put a button on here and make a buttonhole in the strap, you can fold that strap and button it and shorten that strap. And it's really easy to put some buttonholes in this single crochet strap. And I have not woven in the end. And I am pretty sure I'm going to take out part of this strap, make some buttonholes, and sew a couple of buttons on. I dropped that button, but luckily I have another one here. And sew one or two of these buttons on so that this strap can be adjustable. And I think I want to try it on this bag because it would be so easy to do that, to just undo a little bit of it, make some buttonholes, sew a button on, and if it doesn't work, I can take it out again and remove those buttonholes. My concern would be that it pulls on the button too hard and it doesn't look right when it's buttoned. So I think I'm going to try that on my first mosaic crochet bag, which is so lovely, so beautiful. And you can see my crochet, my mosaic crochet is a little spiral in the round, but I listened to Tinna, and she tells how to make that much less noticeable, or maybe even not noticeable at all. So I'm going to use that technique on the new one I started, the one that I showed you that I just started. But anyway, about this yarn. I told you I was just going to talk as much as I wanted to. This yarn is Deep Deep Stash, which means I've probably had it more than 10 years, and I'm not exaggerating. The solid light color, the tannish color, is this King Tut Egyptian cotton, made in Croatia. I believe I got it at a craft store on deep discount when the craft store was going out of business when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. That's what I remember. And I have, I think, 4 skeins of this, and I did not use a whole skein. I have 2 skeins of the color in this bag, and then I have 2 skeins that are slightly darker, or maybe just 1 skein that's slightly darker. But I bought 3 skeins of this King Tut. And so I've used that deep stash in my mosaic crochet. And then the multi is this, I'm not even going to try to say it. It's from Chile, and I have bought several yarns, this brand from Chile, that are always quality, and the colors are completely stunning. I just want you to be able to see as much of this as possible, and that's why I just hold it there for a second, not because I think you're going to copy it or photograph it, but in case you really would like to see and take down some information. And I have had this yarn, I know I got this yarn here in the town where I live, at a shop called Knit many, many, many years ago. And so these are special yarns, and this is a pretty special little bag to me. Okay, like I said, I was going to move on to some finished objects, but I did want to take a minute to talk about that yarn, partly because when I talk about how long I've had things like yarn, and I say I've had it for 10 years, 15 years, 12 years, I am doing my very best not to exaggerate. I really think about where I lived, how old my child was, what I was doing at the time I bought the yarn or made the object, and I have been crocheting for a very long time, over 30 years. So I do have things that are that old. And when I say my yarn, I've had it in my deep, deep stash. So that's kind of my designation. Deep stash is over 5 years. Deep, deep stash is over 10 years that it's been in my stash. On to finished objects. I've said that. Is this the 3rd time? I'm kind of excited about it because on my last podcast, I said that I would show you some crochet from my past. And so I've gotten together some things from my past, and they're kind of sentimental, and I want to show them to you and talk about them. One of the things I would like to do is feature an Afghan. Each time I sit down to talk to you, I plan to have a finished object here to show you right here on my couch. That's an Afghan that I made. Or it's possible that I might show you something my mom or my aunt or my sister made. But mostly you'll see Afghans I've made. And this will be, like I said, I would like to have something like that every time to show you until I run out of Afghans, which will be quite a while. I have quite a few to show you. I keep thinking I've thought about them all, and then I see another one and think, oh yes, I would like to show that one too. And part of the reason I'm doing this is that I said I would. Another reason I'm doing this is someone dear to me, Ladybird Loves, Lisa Ladybird of the podcast Ladybird Loves, suggested that I have something in the background because I do have this blank wall, as I've explained maybe once or twice. They're supposed to paint. My painter has had some problems that he didn't come back and finish painting, so that's why my walls remain bare. I hope to do something about that this year, but for now, here, I have an Afghan to show you and some things in my backdrop for you to look at, and I think it looks a little bit better than that blank wall. I've made this filet crochet Afghan 3 times, I believe. I love it. It has this giant daisy motif in the middle, and then it has some leaves and some smaller flowers, and it's from this leaflet. Here's a picture of the Afghan itself. So you can kind of see all of the different things there. You can see on the back of my couch that one large flower. But there's also leaves and some smaller flowers. And like I said, I've made this 3 times, 2 times for gifts. And then I liked it so much. And it was so much fun and so easy to make that I eventually made one for myself. But after I had made it, I did not have enough yarn to make the fringe. And this is a Lion brand yarn, Woolies, yes, Woolies Ivory Sprinkles. And I believe I made all 3 of the Afghans that I made this pattern. I believe I made them all from the same yarn, Woolies Ivory Sprinkles, that I ran out of and could not fringe my own Afghan. And my auntie had some in her stash and sent it to me. So I don't remember how long this ago this was, but more than 10 years. More than 10 years, most certainly, that I've had this Afghan, and that my auntie and I had a conversation, and I said, oh, woe is me. I can't fringe my Afghan. So I kept what was left of this yarn that she mailed to me as a memento. It still has the note stuck to it that she wrote about how I could have the yarn because she just didn't pay a whole lot for it and she didn't mind. And that's what I said. These things are very sentimental to me. And as I thought about talking to you about them, I realized that I probably would be telling you some stories and background, and that I would just take my time to do that. And I appreciate you listening. Now I have some more crochet from the past to show you. These are things that are probably at least 20 years old, some more. So let me get started and show you. And I have this dark colored cushion here to use so that I can put something in front of it and show you something that's light colored, like this doily here, this beautiful pineapple doily. My mother made this, and I'm pretty sure this is what she was working on while she taught me to crochet. So she wasn't making the same thing I was. She was just keeping herself busy as I sat there next to her and pestered her with questions about how to learn to crochet. I was 29, so I was an adult, and she had come to visit me. My father had recently passed away, and she had come to visit me and stay with me for a while. And she taught me to crochet because I insisted. And I insisted that what I wanted to make, and I think I've mentioned this before, I insisted that what I wanted to make was a doily with thread crochet. So I did. This is one of the first things I ever crocheted. Now I say one of the first things because I made 3 of these. I don't know where the other 2 are, but there was a total of 3 of these. So this is my first crochet. And this is thread crochet. I don't remember the brand, but I did succeed in making these doilies. I made 3 of them. And then for a while I did continue to make thread crochet, which to me at this point seems a little bit just crazy. I don't know. I guess I was enchanted by the beautiful laciness of it because it is beautiful. But I don't think I would ever attempt it again. Certainly not anything of any size. Next, some very delicate thread crochet that I did. Look at that. So this is join as you go squares. I know I didn't sew them together. I joined them as I made them. Very small thread crochet that I made a long time ago. This next one, the thread is slightly heavier, but also very beautiful and delicate, and filet crochet with thread. I know I'm still really enjoy the filet crochet because look at the effect you get. And just like this blanket behind me, I think it's such a surprise to see something so beautiful and delicate. I made that. I made a brown one. And I think the whole idea behind making something that wasn't white and lacy, making something brown and black, was my husband's idea. And I think it was a really good idea. That's quite lovely. And I know I made some black doilies too. I wouldn't be surprised if he still has them. Just trying to let you see it, like I said, taking my time. And I wanted to show you also something. This is made from worsted weight yarn, crocheted from worsted weight yarn. It is the same pattern as this square. So this is very fine crochet thread. And this is worsted weight yarn, same square. And this is a pad that I put on my kitchen chair. And it's double-sided reversible, so it does provide a little bit of padding. It has some strings on it. It ties right on the kitchen chair, and I have 4 of them. Pads that go on my kitchen chairs. I like them very much. I've covered up my notes, so let me take a look here. Oh yes, just a little bit more crochet from the past. I've mentioned more than once that I've made bags for a long time. I'm going to show you some of the first bags, I believe, that I made. And these bags were made from nylon cord. Nylon cord intended to be crocheted with. And I made some small bags. So this is like a clutch size bag. with a string strap, crocheted, and I did find a free pattern that gave me the idea of how to begin the bag, and then I kind of was off and running with the idea. I made quite a few of these. I gave some away. I sold some. I had tags for them. I made a change purse. I like this little Christmas themed yarn. And everything I made from this yarn, except for this little bag right here, I sold or gave away, because this is all that I have of this holiday color yarn that I really like it. I like how that worked up. Little purse with a flap. And yeah, there's a tag in there. More nylon crochet bags. So I did make quite a lot of these, and this is pretty much where my bag making began. I hope you liked seeing my crochet from the past. Now I have a couple of current works to show you. They are knitted, felted bags. They're bags that I knit and felted some time ago, but I had left them alone, and now I have recently embellished them, and I've had them lined. That's really exciting, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. So this first one, it's a plain black bag. May have even shown it to you before. I've put an antique button on it. I doubt if you can see the detail in the button there, but it is a very nice button. And then on the other side, I've done some needle felting. This scene of a pair of cardinals. I don't know if you can see that there's a nest there with a little bird in it, a bird with its mouth open, and a tiny flower pushing its way out of the snow. So I call this bag Hope for Spring, and I did enter it in a show, but it didn't get accepted, which is fine, absolutely fine. I'm pretty pleased with it myself, and it does have a lining, which looks pretty nice with the bag, I think. This horizontal black and white kind of twiggy looking print, I really thought went well. Have one more knitted felted bag to show you. Again, I had knitted this and felted this some time ago, so it looked like that, plain white bag. And it's not exactly white, it's a creamy off-white. Has a little mother of pearl button on it. And then I did some needle felting on this side. And this bag is called Lee's Trees. And the reason that I named it that is because I used this piece of art by my friend Lee Laney to inspire me to do the needle felting on that bag. I love the simplicity and the color, and I love trees, and this really, it inspired me, and so I put it on the bag. He was quite pleased, and I entered this bag in the same art show as the Hope for Spring bag, and this one was accepted. So it's just a spring show here, local, at my local artist center, and it will be up in the show for several weeks. I have to drop it off tomorrow, so I wanted to show it to you today. And it also has been lined. And you may not be able to see this lining at all. It's quite subtle and quite suitable for this bag. Nice, subtle fabric. The linings do have pockets, a cell phone pocket, and then a couple of other smaller pockets. Quite nice. for holding a lady's things. And these bags were lined by a local quilt artist, and I am so pleased that she agreed to do it. I've been wanting to ask her for a long time because I knew that she would do the quality work that I wanted. But I have fabric, I have a sewing machine, I can sew. I should be lining these bags myself, but I came to the realization that I'm probably not going to do that, especially when I can say, well, I need to make more bags. I don't have time to line them because I need to be knitting and crocheting, and that really is not a stretch of the truth at all. I need to be knitting and crocheting, and now I'm working part-time as well. So I did hire someone to line the bags for me. She is associated with the local quilt museum. I will put a link to the quilt museum in the description box. Like I talked about at the first of my video, I will provide any information that I mentioned that I can link to. I will put in the description box. We're very fortunate to have a quilt and textile museum here, right here in my town. We also have a cultural arts center and a wonderful arts festival that I've spoken about, and I will mention again as it comes up. It's in October, and looking forward to that and hoping it will take place. And of course, I'll be talking about that more as that date approaches. This local quilt museum also has asked me to give them some bags on consignment, and I really think I'm going to do that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. What a great opportunity. I really appreciate in fact, the woman that lined the bags for me. She is active there, and she has something to do with, she may even be in charge of the gift shop there at the quilt museum, and she asked me if I would put some of my bags in there, and I've told her that I'm really thinking seriously about it, and I think I will do that within the next few weeks. I have rushed into a lot of things in my life, and so I try to take my time with important decisions. Not always successfully, but slowing down, taking time, there's a lot to be said for that. Be here and now, see things as they are, and remind myself of those things, and it really gives me the perspective that I need. That was a tangent, wasn't it? My plans are to continue to make bags, of course. And it makes me very happy to know that I have someone who will line the bags, because I did tell her that if this was successful, if she liked doing it and her price was reasonable, which it is, and I liked the results, that I would like to depend on her to line bags that I think would be better lined. And not all of the bags would be better lined. Some of the quite large bags, tote size bags, probably don't need to be lined, but smaller bags, certainly something crocheted like this, needs to be lined. So I find it very exciting to look forward to seeing this lined and usable, and knowing that I can make more mosaic crochet and other crochet techniques and be able to know that they can be lined, so that makes them more usable. It makes people like them and want to buy them. I said I was going to take my time today, and I have. And part of the reason I said that I'll just take my time and I'll talk as long as I want to and try to cover the things I intended to and be with you as much as I can is because I probably will podcast only every other week for now. I am videoing this, and I will put it out in a few days after I take time to edit it. I'm still learning to edit, but the Filmora editing software that I have, that I purchased, I'm very happy with it. My learning is slowed only by the time that I have to do it. If I try to figure out to do something, I find a tutorial and it shows me how to do it. So I'm just learning, that's all. It's just taking time for me to learn. I hope that the introduction And the exit that I created will be used in this video, and that was really fun. Pricilla of Distinctive Crochet has done some tutorials on using Filmora. She's been quite helpful, and her videos and the Filmora tutorials just go right to the point and show you what to do. So I do hope to be able to edit this video, but I will take my time to do it and hope to deliver something that you will enjoy. One of the things that people have shown interest in that I'm seriously considering is doing a crochet along type making of a market bag. So this plan is in its beginnings, but what I see is, like I said, a crochet along where I am able to video myself doing the work and showing you the progress. If I do this, I would also like to write down the instructions, and I wouldn't mind having someone to test it for me. So like I said, this plan is in the very beginnings. I'm thinking about it, but the more I think about it, the more doable it feels. I've already kind of picked out a bag that I made before that I can not duplicate, but I can use the finished bag as a model as I then construct the new bag and show you the progress. So that's on my agenda for the future. And like I said, I'm going to continue to make bags of all kinds, market bags, purses, totes. I do have an Etsy shop. I'd be glad if you take a look. I am not a high pressure sales person. I like it when people see my things. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying, oh, please go to my shop and buy stuff. I'm saying if you would like to see what I do, please go over to my Etsy shop, because that's a really good place to see pictures of my things. Also, I'm active on Instagram. I mostly put finished objects on Instagram, and then I'm much more active on Facebook. If you guys would come over to my Facebook page and see what I'm doing there. I'm trying to put out some links for podcasts that I like. Every Friday I have a Friday feature where I just link a podcast or some other thing that I really like that I think other people would be interested in. And I try to post other artists' work and calls for artists, and of course my own work. And I'd love to see yours. I'd love to see what you're doing. And so, as I say in every podcast, this for me is about making connections. That's what I'm trying to do by showing you my things, letting you get to know me. I hope that you enjoyed watching today. I hope that you will come back and watch more videos. And thank you so much for being with me.